For many decades, the third secret of Fatima has been a mystery locked away in the Vatican archives. It was part of a message that Our Lady of Fatima gave to 3 Portuguese children in 1917, but she asked that it not be revealed to the public until 1960. However, the Church had known the third secret and decided not to make it public for certain reasons that are shocking. What were the contents of the third secret of Fatima that had scared the Church to its core? Why had the third secret been kept a secret for so long? Join us as we reveal the actual meaning of the third Fatima prophecy. And you might want to stick around till the end to find out why the Church is so terrified about it. In 1917, these 3 Portuguese children, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta, reported seeing apparitions of Our Lady at Cova da Iria. Mary asked the children to pray the rosary for the world peace, the end of World War I, and the conversion of Russia. She also gave them 3 secrets, which were not revealed to the public until 2000. Francisco died in 1919, Jacinta died in 1920, and Lucia was the only one left with the 3 secrets that she had kept for a very long time. The first secret was a vision of hell. The second secret was a prophecy about the 20th century, including the rise of communism and 2 world wars. Our Lady of Fatima wanted the children to spread the other parts of her message, which predicted the widespread moral collapse of marriage and the warning of great tribulations for mankind if it did not repent of sin, especially sins of impurity. The third secret of Fatima was kept a secret for many years, which led to speculation and conspiracy theories about its contents. The third secret of Fatima was revealed to the children on July 13th, and it was to be kept in the strictest confidence. But why? Let's take a little closer look at Lucia's story. In 1943, Sister Lucia fell ill and was asked to write down the third secret on a single sheet of paper. She wrote the secret down, sealed it in an envelope, and gave it to the Bishop of Leiria. This envelope contained the third secret that was not meant to be opened until 1960. Sister Lucia, who received the secret, asked the Bishop of Leiria to read it, but he refused. Instead, he kept it for safekeeping and later transferred it to the secret archives of the Holy Office on April 4, 1957, to ensure better protection. On August 17, 1959, Father Pierre-Paul Philippe, the representative of the Holy Office, brought the envelope containing the third secret to Pope John XXIII with the agreement of Cardinal Alfredo Ottaviani. According to the message of Fatima, Pope John XXIII hesitated to open the envelope. Ultimately, Pope John XXIII chose not to disclose the secret and returned the envelope to the Holy Office. Almost 6 years later, Pope Paul VI read the contents of the secret but decided against its publication. The envelope was then returned to the archives of the Holy Office. What secret was contained in the letter that none of the popes wanted to disclose? You may want to pay close attention now, because this is where things start getting shocking. On May 13, 1981, Pope John Paul II was shot 4 times by Mehmet Ali Agca, who was standing in an open car moving slowly into St. Peter's Square, which was filled with more than 10,000 people. Pope John Paul II, after suffering a serious gunshot wound in St. Peter's Square, requested the envelope containing the third part of the secret after regaining consciousness. The Pope could not believe what he had just read. It was about him that Our Lady of Fatima had prophesied, or so he thought. The Pope firmly believed that on May 13, 1982, the 64th anniversary of the first Fatima apparition, the Blessed Mother Mary intervened to guide the bullets that were fired at him, thereby protecting him from death. In the context of the third secret of Fatima, he saw a profound connection between himself and the bishop dressed in white. Despite not succumbing to death, Pope John Paul II identified himself as the Pope, or bishop referred to in the third part of the secret, who was meant to be killed. He viewed his survival as a miraculous intervention by the Blessed Mother. While some argued that Pope John Paul II couldn't be the bishop in white in the vision of Fatima because he didn't die, the Pope responded that he should have died, but the Blessed Mother brought him back from the brink of death. He firmly asserted that the Blessed Mother had given him back his life, leaving no doubt in his mind about the connection between the secret and his own experiences. But none of this explains why all the popes had stepped back from reading the third secret. Even those who read it did not reveal it to the outside world. Why? In the year 2000, Pope John Paul made it public that the third part of the mystery of Fatima was only a part of the actual mystery that was revealed to Sister Lucia on that day. This means there is much more to the actual secret. Does this mean that the assassination attempt of John Paul II about 40 years ago was not the end of the prophetic mission of Fatima? What's more to it that we don't know? What I'm about to reveal to you are the actual words in the letter that were written by Sister Lucia on that day. I write in obedience to you, my God, who commands me to do so through His Excellency, the Bishop of Leiria, and through your most holy mother and mine. After the two parts which I have already explained, at the left of Our Lady and a little above, we saw an angel with a flaming sword in his left hand. Flashing, it gave out flames that looked as though they would set the world on fire. But they died out in contact with a splendor that Our Lady radiated towards him from her right hand. Pointing to the earth with his right hand, the angel cried out in a loud voice, "Penance! Penance! Penance!" Other bishops, priests, men and women religious going up a steep mountain, at the top of which there was a big cross of rough-hewn trunks as of a core tree with the bark. Before reaching there, the Holy Father passed through a big city half in ruins and half trembling with halting step. Afflicted with pain and sorrow, he prayed for the souls of the corpses he met on his way. Having reached the top of the mountain, on his knees at the foot of the big cross, he was killed by a group of soldiers who fired bullets and arrows at him. And in the same way there died one after another the other bishops, priests, men and women religious, and various lay people of different ranks and positions. Beneath the two arms of the cross there were two angels, each with a crystal aspersorium in his hand, in which they gathered up the blood of the martyrs and with it sprinkled the souls that were making their way to God. These highly descriptive revelations point to many other things that were going to happen to the Catholic Church in the future, and Our Lady was trying to warn us about it. But there's something more that you need to know, and this is where it gets really terrifying. Father Alonso, the archivist of the secret archives of the Vatican, had access to the letter and various other documents that had also the chance to personally interact with Sister Lucia. Before his death, he revealed something really shocking. He wrote that terrible events await humanity, and these events are the things actually described in the third part of the letter. These terrible things had nothing to do with diseases, natural disasters, or famine. Something was about to happen in the Catholic Church that was going to shake its very foundation. An internal crisis awaits the Catholic Church, and the highest officials of the Church will be responsible. Faith will slowly disappear from the Church, and many of them will reject God and His original teachings. Immoral practices will haunt the Church, and conflicts will arise within the Church. Conflicts and disagreements will result in the fall of the highest Vatican hierarchies that could even involve the pontiff. What had been feared for so long finally happened when in August 2018, reports surfaced alleging that a significant number of cardinals within the Vatican had been involved in covering up instances of sexual abuse that had taken place over the years. Some of the cardinals implicated in these reports were Cardinal Sodano and Cardinal Bertone, who played significant roles in the public disclosure of the third secret at Fatima in 2000. During the announcement, it was conveyed that the third secret was essentially of little consequence, as its dire warnings, such as the assassination attempt of John Paul II in 1981, had already happened. The message conveyed that the warnings of the third secret were in relation to last events, leading to the perception that there was no need for concern about it any longer. But they were wrong. Our Lady of Fatima was trying to warn the world about these things beforehand. The things were going to break apart the Catholic Church into bits and pieces. If you look at the state of the world right now, you'll understand what Mother Mary said on that day has actually started to come true. It's not long before the things that Our Lady of Fatima warned us about start coming to its fulfillment, and the Catholic Church must do something about it soon before it's too late.